this is Lisa from Hey Boo. I'm going to show you how to crochet a beanie today. This is an adult size beanie, and to measure a beanie all you need to do is measure on the outside and then double it. But when you're measuring your head, you just put your tape measure around the base of your hairline, and that will give you your measurement for your beanie. So Carnival yarn is ready available at Big W, and it's 8-ply, has usually got 3 or maybe 4 strands of yarn wound together to make this thickness. Now for this beanie we are going to be using a 3.5 crochet hook. You'll need some scissors and you'll need a big eye wool yarn needle to finish off our ends. So how we start, the first bit is to do a magic circle. So to make a magic circle I have 2 fingers, I hold it the end of the string with one, pull it around and make an X. Now I actually put my hook under the first one and take that second one, turning it in my hand, take that one and pull it through. Just tighten it a little bit and there's our magic circle. I'll show you that again real quick. So you're holding your yarn in your left hand, put your yarn around, go underneath your first one, take your second one, turn it around and pull that through. Alright. And then we just pull it up a little bit. And now we're going to do a double crochet. So you need to chain 2, just like this. Just pull some more yarn out. And we're going to have yarn over your crochet hook, so you've got 2 there. And then what you're going to do is I hold my circle like this, yarn over, go under, pull my yarn over, put my yarn over again and go through those 2, pull my yarn over and go through those 2. So I've just done 1 double crochet. So we'll do that again. Put your yarn over, put your hook underneath your circle, pull your yarn through and go through those 2 loops and then go through those 2 loops. I'll try and go slow. So we'll start with our loop over again, put our hook underneath our circle, get your yarn from over that side, bring it to the front side closest to you, put your yarn over your hook and pull that one through the 2, then put your yarn over again and pull it through those final 2. So we've done 1, 2, 3 at the moment. If I am going too fast, you can play these videos slower by going through the cog and changing the speed of your video. Now what I've actually just done there is I've actually split it. So what I'm just going to do is just undo that. Whoops. And I'm going to try again. So we're just going to keep doing that. So this is just that repeated pattern that we're going to be doing through our whole beanie. So you just put it over, go under, pin your yarn back and your yarn back. So we are going to have 10 on here. So we don't class the 2 chain as one of our 10. So then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the moment. So each one of these is so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each of those is a crochet. So a double crochet, sorry. So we're going to keep doing that till we have 10. I've done now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 2 more. Go under, pull out. Whoops, what have I done here? There we go. That's better. Sometimes it's a bit tricky with all the yarn going everywhere. I'm just pulling mine a little bit closer. I do find that when we're starting is actually the hardest time to, oops, just, there we go, to hold it. So let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Now we've got our 10 crochets, which is what we were after. And now we're just going to pull this and pull, pull, pull. And I'm going to tuck it under this way so it's not in the way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put it in that top one. So there is that first crochet, and we're going to go into that top one. So just make sure you have the one at the front and the one at the back. And then I'm going to get my long string, pull it towards me, and then just pull it towards that one. And it should move pretty easily. Fantastic, everyone. We have finished our first round. So now for this round, we're going to double our stitches, and we're going to put 2 double crochets into each stitch that's there. So everywhere you see one of these, you're going to be putting 2 double crochets. So we're going to start like we did last time with our 2 chain, and then your yarn over. We're going to go back into that one, and we're going to do 2 double crochets. See? So yarn over, go through, collect your yarn, bring it back through 2, yarn over, bring it back through 2. And that is our double crochet. And we're going to keep doing those through the whole beanie. So one thing that you'll probably notice is I'm trying to keep my tension throughout each of my double crochets even. So what I'm trying not to do is do a really loose one and then a really tight one. So the main thing is to try and make sure you're doing it, because it kind of looks a little different. You can tell the difference now just seeing that there. This one looks really big and chunky. This one looks a bit like the other ones. So the main thing is to try and get your double crochet about the same. So I just bring it up. So I'm looking for about this much, and then I'll just bring it through again. So remember we're doing 2 double crochets in each stitch. Come on, thread. So I've done 2 stitches and I've done 2 double crochets in each one. So through this round, this is our second round, and we're basically doubling our stitches than what we had on our first round. So we had 10 in the last round, so this round we're going to have 20. So I've done 2 in that one. So when we're doing 2 in one stitch, that means we're increasing. So this is our increase round. And we're going to do 5 increase rounds. Each round's going to be slightly different, which you will see very shortly. But this round we're doubling our stitches. So in each stitch we're doing a double crochet. So when you actually do it, you can actually see a V. So that's when we know we've done our double crochet, which will come important for when our next 3 rounds or rows. And double. So I'm just double checking that I'm doing 2 in each one, because it's not going to do a major thing if we don't do it 2 in each one, but it's just going to make it a little bit more even and a bit more rounder when we're doing each round to follow what the pattern says to do. So I am probably going a bit fast for some of you, so just slow it down or just play this at a slower speed. If you're on YouTube, you can go into the cog settings and you can change the speed of it there. I will actually have this on our website as well, www.heyboo.com.au, so you can view it either way. And thank you for supporting us, and thank you for wanting to learn something new. I mean, I think it's really good to try something that you've never tried before. I have been crocheting and knitting since I was a teenager. My mum taught me, in which I thank her very much for that. And this is my last stitch. So when we're doing increasing rows, the last stitch you're going to be doing is that increase. You're going to be doing 2 in that stitch. So here's our end of the row again. I'm just tightening that hole just there. And we need to make sure we're going in the top. So that's our first stitch there. So that's where we're going to do. But I'm just going to show you another way of counting it. So there's our 2 chains when we started each row. Then we're going to go in that third one. So that's getting us, just showing you 2 different ways of doing it really. All right. So, well done. That is your second round of your beanie. So remember, you can do any colour that you want to. You don't need to do this colour. And I will do other ones as well, showing you the treble crochet. I probably won't really do the single crochet one, but I will show you that how to do a single crochet in another video. So to start off our third round, you're going to do your 2 chain. And what we're doing, see how we've got our increase and we've got our V? We've actually got now, we've got 1 there. So we're going to do 1 in our first one, 1 double crochet in our first space. And then in that double, where we see that V coming out of that same stitch, you're going to do your increase. So you're going to do 2 double crochets in this one. 1 and 2. Awesome. So then we're just going to repeat that all the way around, but I will just show you that again and then I'll fast forward and meet you at the end. So there's my single, because I've got 1 in the middle of that V, of those V's from the previous row. So there's a 1. And then I've got my V, because the 2 double crochets, beg your pardon, went into that same stitch. So now let's do our double crochet in this one. Yep. There we go. All right, so now we're doing a single, double, all the way around, and I'll meet you there shortly. See you soon. So it's very easy to split our yarn into those threads. Remembering there's 3 or 4 threads for an 8-ply yarn. So remembering that it's just really easy for those threads to come apart. So if they do, you just take it back and start again. Sometimes you can recover, but most of the time I just take it back. Hi, so I've just about to finish, or I've just finished round 3. So now we're going to go into the third chain, 1, 2, 3 chain, or you can also call it the top of the first stitch. And we're just going to do our slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 2. Now this round you'll see that there's our increase, which we'll keep going with our increase, and then this one here and this one here we'll do one. So this pattern is 2 single crochets in 2 stitches, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then we'll do our increase. So with our V is, so we've got 2 stitches in the 1 stitch, so that is our increase. So what we will do is we will increase, do 2 stitches or 2 double crochets in that same stitch. Awesome. So that's going to be our repeated pattern all around this row. Just tighten up that little bit in the middle. And then so we're going to do 1, 2 single crochets, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets. And you repeat that all the way around to the start of this row, and then you need to do your slip stitch, and that will be the finish of row 4. Alright, so I've done my 2 single ones. Now I'm going to do my 2 in the same stitch. Alright, so there we are. So I've done 2 patterns for this row, so 2 singles, then the increase, so 2 stitches in the 1 stitch. I'll meet you around here. See you soon. Okay, so we've just finished the 4th row, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of that first stitch. Or remember, if it's easier for you to remember, to count the chains. So 1, 2, 3 chain, and we're going just underneath there. Right, now we're up to our 5th row. So as usual, we'll start with 2 chain, and then this time we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do our increase. So 3 singles, and then 2 increase. 1 single, or 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and then that increase. Where we're doing 2 in the single one. So there we've done 1 pattern. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then we've got our double. I'll show you that one again. So we go 1 double crochet, another double crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 more double crochets all in single stitches, and then we'll do our double crochet. And that is the pattern for our 5th row. So anytime you actually do some crocheting and things and you feel like it's a little bit too tight, you can always go up a size. So this is a 3.5 and I've got a blue one here and it is a 4. So I could go up there if I didn't like it this tight. I simply just undo it all and then keep going with the new crochet hook. So now I'm starting my new pattern, my repeated pattern with my 3 double crochets in 3 separate stitches, and then I'm going to do my increase in that 4th one. So continue that pattern all the way around and I'll see you soon. Okay, now we're doing that increase in that last stitch. And then we'll do our slip stitch. On the top of that first stitch. And there is our 5th row finished. So remember, you just go to the middle to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's our 5th row. I'm sure you're doing an awesome job and congratulations so far. So I'll see you soon. Keep it going. Remember to start your next one with double crochet, and then so this one we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 double crochets in each stitch, and then we're going to do in our 5th one we're going to do our increase. And I'm just wanting to get the tape measure and show you how to measure the crown. So you're just doing the diameter, and this is 10 centimeters or 10 and a half. So we need to keep going for doing an adult. This would probably be pretty good for a baby, but the diameter for an adult, I'll just bring that other one back over. And we just need to make sure we've got where we've finished increasing. So this one here, there's no increases in this one. So we're going to go from this one there, because that's an increase row, all the way over where we can find another increase row. And I'm just finding it a little hard at the moment to find it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is about 14 centimeters. So 14 to 15 centimeters or bigger is one for adult. So we need to keep going if we're making an adult one. So this is our 6th round. So we start with a 2 chain. So if yours was bigger like the one I just measured before, you can stop with your increasing. So you're not going to do any more increasing, so no more double in the same stitch. You are just going to keep going with the singles. But for those people who are going to stay with me about the same size as mine, then what you're going to do is you are going to go crochet 1, crochet 2, crochet 3, crochet 4, and then we're going to increase in this one here with our bee. Alright, so let's go with our pattern for this time. So we have got 1 double crochet, another double crochet number 2, another double crochet, a single double crochet, another single double crochet, and then we've got our V, so we're going to increase in that one. Right, so that's one full of the little pattern that we're going to repeat all the way around. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 double crochets in each stitch, and then in that 5th one we're going to do our increase. So we're going to have our double crochet, 2 double crochets into that one. So now we're going to start our next one. So we're going to do 1, 1, 1 and 1, and then we're going to do our double. So we'll go do that one more time. 1, number 2 of the ones, number 3 of the ones, number 4 of the ones, and then this is our 5th stitch, so we're going to double into this one. We're going to do 2 into this one for our increase. Now I'm not sure if some of you have been noticing it, sometimes I do like a double action when I'm doing a crochet. Sometimes when you're doing crocheting it can go through really easily, and sometimes it's like a little bit of a friction there. Sometimes you just go straight through, all good, which is usually the top one. But I find that the first one you do sometimes is a little bit more tricky to get in, like it can split your yarn. So what I do is I go like 1 and then 2. Oops, I'll just show you that again. Like I said, if you're having a little trouble when you're pulling them through and they're not coming through twice, like at the moment I've got some tension, it's not coming through nicely, I just do 1 and then 2, and then 1 and then 2. Alright, so we're going to keep going and we're going to go all the way around with our 4 singles, and then we're going in the 5th stitch we're going to do our increase, which is 2 double crochets. Alright, I will see you soon. We're on our last stitch again, so we're going to do our double, we're going to do our increase. Now for those people who are doing wider or taller double crochets than I am, you can actually just watch the video until we get to the point where I'm got enough centimeters across, that we will do no increases. Alright, so let's find that top of that first stitch, and we'll slip stitch to close the row. Whoopsie. If you were watching that last row, you would have seen me struggle with the bit where I split it and then decided to not struggle with it and then just let go. So we have just done row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I just wanted to refer back to our original beanie, the one that I did looser, and just show you it is actually about 17 centimeters in diameter. So that's if I'm measuring my head, where my hair is, it's about 51 centimeters around my head, and that actually fits me perfectly. So if I've got someone who is wanting a beanie and their head diameter is 51 centimeters, then I would do the crown 17 centimeters before I start just doing double crochets all the way around. So I would increase until I get to the 17 centimeter mark. Now at the moment, let's double check that. What am I up to now? I'm on 12. So I'm going to have to do probably at least 2 more rows before I can do stop doing my increasing, before I can start doing like this side of it. So let's just keep going. But I just wanted to let you know that. So if you're doing it and you're following me, and realizing that yours is a lot bigger than what mine is, you could just fast forward this video until you get to the row that says I'm not increasing anymore, and we're doing the side part of our head. So we are doing row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to do row 7. So like before, we're starting with a 2 chain, and then this time we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the 6th one we're going to do our increase. So we're going to do 2 double crochets into that one. Alright, so let's start our double crochets. Double crochet number 1. Yep. Double crochet number 2. Double crochet number 3. Double crochet number 4. And number 5. And then we're at our double one. So that in our 6th one we're going to do our increase of doing 2 double crochets into that same stitch. So that's one of the rounds we're going to be doing this time. Get some more yarn out and we keep going. And we're going to be doing 5, and then in the 6th one we're going to do that double increase, the 2 in the same, which is our increase stitch. Sometimes I lose track of where I'm up to, especially if I'm watching TV. I kind of forget what I'm up to. So that's when it's important to have a look back and see, oh yeah, I actually did do that increase in the right spot. Sometimes I have realised down in this row that I haven't done an increase, so I've gone back and done that. It's probably not a big major deal if you don't do one, but if you find that you haven't done 2 or 3 in each row, then that would be something that you would probably need to go back and do, just to make sure that it is going to look well, because otherwise your circle is not going to be a circle, it's going to have a bit knot there. So if you're missing 2, I would definitely go back and fill them in. But if you're just missing 1 on one row, then I probably wouldn't worry about it too much. Alright, so I've done 2 of my patterns. So you just keep going, you do your 5 in each single one, and then when you get to your V, when you've got 2 in one stitch, then you will do 2 in that stitch. Alright, I'll see you over here. See you soon. Alright, we're up to our last stitch. So remember, it's our increase stitch if you are up to it, up to this bit. 1 and 2. And then we are going to go up to that top stitch. So put your finger in there, and then we're getting that top one there. Or I actually just like to count 1, 2, and then in that third one. And there that is. So that is our, was that the 7th one? Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, let's measure ours. Yeah, 14. So I reckon another one and we should be fine. So we start the row with 2 chain, and we're going to be doing 6, I think. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll do our increase. So 1, okay, now we'll do our second one. Our third one. Our fourth. And our fifth. And our sixth. And in our 7th stitch we're going to do our increase and put 2 double crochets in that stitch. So basically each row you're going to do increases on, you're going to be doing 1 more of the single ones in there when you're just putting 1, and then you're going to add 2 into the next one. So we have just done our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochets in 6 stitches, and in the 7th we're going to be doing our increase. So we'll do that all the way around, and I'll meet you back here. All right, see you soon. Oh yeah, here we are at the end. So we're going to find our pin that we go through, and we're going to slip stitch. Alright, then we're going to start. So the next row we're not going to do any more increases, because we saw that we're at 16.5, 17 centimeters. Alright, so to start this run, we're going to start doing no increases this time. We're finished with the increases, and we're going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way around from now on. So to start our row, we start with 2 chain, and we're going to go into that one we've just slip stitched into, and then we're going to keep going. 1 double crochet into each stitch. So one good thing is we don't need to do any more counting. We can just mindly watch or talk or whatever we're doing, whoever's around us, and we are just going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way around. And then we're going to finish the row with a slip stitch like we have been doing, and we're going to start again and again and again and again until we're finished, or till we get to the length that we're wanting to do. So some people actually like personally, wait for a second. Personally, I actually like my beanies to be over my ears. Some people don't, but I do. So I actually make mine a little bit longer than what other people want them to be. So to actually get the length of your beanie, so I'm just going to put that down for a second. To get your length of the beanie, if you already have a beanie and it's the right length you're wanting, you just lay it out like this, making sure that we can see that middle one here, and then we're just going to lay it flat like this, and we are going to measure with a flat 0 up here. So this one is about 20 centimetres high. So I like mine 21 to 22, just so it can cover those ears. That way, not in winter when it's windy, I won't actually get sore ears. But that is up to you or whoever you're making it for, what they prefer. So what we can do, I will do another video about how to measure it on a person's head instead of on a beanie. But for right now, we are just going to, when we get quite a few rows in for the side of our heads, we are going to just put it on every now and then, probably at least 7 rows or so, and then you could probably try it to see what it's like. Or if you're doing it tight like me, you will probably do it 10 rows before you might even pop it on your head or on the person's head you're making it for, to see if that's the length they like. And even if you actually do it too long and you've changed your mind, or it's not as hot or it's not windy and you don't want it over your ears, you can actually just fold it up, and it will actually fit you really nicely and snug. While I've got you, I'll talk about, so some people actually like firmer beanies than other people, so it really depends on how firm you like it, how wide you're going to do it, so what the diameter of the crown will be. If you have someone who likes it a bit firmer than what I do, you're just going to maybe not do as many rows or not make it as the crown as big. So it's really up to your preference of the person that you're making it for, or if you're making it for yourself, your own preference of how tight you want it on your head. Just so you know that though they will stretch a little bit, but it does depend on how firm you like it. So you might say, because my head is 51 centimetres in diameter, or circumference, sorry, all the way around. There's some that I have that are about that, or there's some that's a little bit bigger than that, mainly because the different yarn might be different. One yarn might stretch more than others, or if, say, I'm doing a treble stitch, then I won't need to do as many rows if I'm doing a treble, because the treble's actually bigger. So, yeah, just a few other things to consider. All right, I'm going to leave you, so I will do a few rows and come back to you in a moment. So just keep going. There's nothing different now. You're just doing that one double crochet into each stitch, and then you're going to join your row with that slip stitch, is what we've been doing the whole way around, or the whole time. And yeah, have fun with it. Watch TV, have a chat with somebody. You'll find that you can actually do more things when you're getting more confident with it. So if you've got any queries or anything, drop me an email on hello@heyboo.com.au. So Heyboo is HEYBOU. And I'll come back to you very soon. I've got a few more rows on my sleeve. Now you won't actually see it change very abruptly. It will take a couple of rows for it to see that it's going to have more of, before it looks more like a basket or like a beanie. So you'll probably do at least 2 or 3, probably 2 rows usually, and then you can see it turning up because we're not doing the increase anymore. So see you soon, people. Love your work. All right, catch you soon. Alright, so that is my last stitch for this non-increase row. So like I said before, we're going to go 1, 2, and then in that third one. And it's not being nice to me, of course. Right, and we're just going to slip stitch it in. Alright, so like I said, it's going to do a little bit of a doom now, or you can see it being pulled up a little bit. I can fit my hand in there. So the next row will probably make it a little bit more pronounced. We've done our slip stitch to finish the row. So now we're going to do our 2 chain. And now we're going to continue to do a double crochet in each stitch on this row. So keep going with that, and I will come back to you after I've done a few more rows. All right. Hey, okay, so this is our second row without increasing. So I'm just going to go into that top of that first stitch we made with my slip stitch so we can finish off this row. Alright, so this is what it looks like when we've done 2 rows without increasing. So we've got a bit more of a lip now. So that's what it will look. So every time we do a row now, it's just going to build, build, build. And yeah, like I said before, you'll just keep going until you get the length that you desire. So this is row 2 without increasing. So altogether this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so I've done 10 rows. Obviously, like I said before, if you're doing your crochets and they are taller than mine, so my crochets are generally about 1 centimetre tall. So if you're doing ones that are like 1.5 centimetres or even 2 centimetres, then obviously you would have already started doing your just going without increasing. So just keep going. I will probably do, what's this one? Sorry, just trying to find one of those increasing bits so I can go from where I am going from. Okay, so this one is the one without doing any increasing, where my thumb is. So I've gone 13 centimeters with just all the double crochet in each stitch. So you just keep going your single crochets, your double crochets in each stitch. So I'm going to keep going and not video anymore until I get to my last row, and then I'll show you how to put your excess string in and weave it through. All right, so I will see you in about 10 rows. All right, see you soon. Hey there again, how are you going so far? I've just been doing some crocheting, and I've got to the length that I've wanted to have. So now I'm actually just going to measure how high it is. Again, so we'll place this flat. We've got our circle in the middle. And I'm bringing it down, and it's saying 19. So that's how long I want this. This one's actually just going to go just to the tip of my ears. So I've placed it on my head to have a look how it feels, and that's where I want it to go, to the top of my ears. So that's where I'm going to stop. So that is where we will come here, and we will cut off our string or our thread. Now I usually allow like 10 centimeters or so, and then I will just do my slip stitch, and then I will tighten it, and that's my end of it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to weave in our ends. So this is where you're going to need this needle. There are plastic ones around you can use. I actually prefer the metal ones. I just feel more secure with it. And then to thread it, you're just going to put it over the eye of the needle, and you're going to pull it quite tight, and then you're going to pinch it together, and then you're just going to slide it over into the eye. Now when I'm doing it, I like to have at least that much left over, just so it doesn't keep coming undone. So the first thing I do is I just go through a couple of threads of yarn, and then I'm just going to go through, and I'm basically just making a knot to make that more secure. So I should have actually pulled it a little bit tighter so I couldn't actually see any, but this way is actually pretty good too, because if you decide to put one of those pom-poms on there, then you can put your bits through there. And I might show you how to do that later too. All right, so now what we're doing is we're just going to go in between the two. So we don't want to go, so this is the wrong side. We're just wanting to go in between. So on each stitch there's a front and a back. So we're just wanting to go through the one that's closer to us, which is actually the back. And we're just going to weave through a few stitches, and we're going to come up. Come on, be nice. Now some of these done, or wool needles or knitting needles or something, there's a few names for them. Now some of these are sharper than others, so they'll have more of a tip on them. They sometimes are good, but sometimes they will split your yarn even further. So I am just going to go in one of these ones, and then I'm going to go up our crochet and onto the next row. Now it's pretty important not to stay on the same row, because sometimes it's actually quite easy for it to come undone. So I usually go up a row, sometimes two, but usually at least one row. I'm splitting yarn. All right, now I'm going to go in this one here, And I'm going to go through the base of our doubles. So that's on the second row. And I would suggest finishing on one that's actually a bit harder to thread through, because that way it's already a bit harder. It's going to be less likely to come undone. Oh, came undone. Oops. Or came unhooked. You'll get much better at doing all this, of course, with more practice. And basically with anything you try new, anything new you're trying, will take a little bit of practice to actually master. And as you can see, even though I've been doing this for over 20 years, sometimes the string or the thread does not want to cooperate. So I'm just going to pull that through there. And I'll just give it a little bit of a wiggle and tug and stuff, just so it's not going to come undone for me. And then I'm just going to get it and I'm going to chop it pretty close to that bit. Try not to chop any of the other threads around, and then just give it a little bit more wiggle to thread that through. And now you can't see the end just there. All right, now for the top one, for some reason I like to do it on the wrong side, the threading through part. I think it's just to make sure that I know it's not going to go through and show on the right side of the beanie or blanket, whatever I'm making. So on this one, I'm going to see which way the end's going to go more naturally. And just pulling, yep, going more this side. So then I just go through. So I'm going through that stitch up the top. Oh, didn't thread it through enough. Mistakes happened, no biggie. So pinch it and go through. And I'm just going to see where things are going. So I'm just trying to get that other third. There we go. Now sometimes you can do a whole bunch at one time and then pull it through. Sometimes it's a bit more safe to just doing one little bit. When you get to the point of going to the bottom of the crochet, which is this bit here, this bit you can usually go pretty quickly. Although sometimes I think I've tightened it a little bit too tight, but anyway. Sometimes it's just moving that thread to where I want it to go. There we go. And then I might go down a bit more. There we go. Whoops, not that bit. And sometimes going the other way than what I did last time is good. And sometimes in between each one I will do this, which I think sometimes keeps it a bit firmer. Mainly more so when I've got a looser crochet like I did in the other one, like this one's that looser one. I would do this, go through one of them, then go under this one, and then go through those two. But seeing this one is fairly tight, I don't really need to do that as much. I can just go through those bits. Now I am going to go through this bit here, and then I'm going to finish it. So I'm just going to go wiggle, 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 pull, pull, and then I'm going to snip it off. There we go. And that is your beanie. So one way I find out to where the back of my beanie is I wear this part as my beanie where I've joined them together. So when you turn it around, you will find where it is joined together, and that's where I usually put on my back. The back of my head, sorry. Yep. So that's called your crown, and that will sit at the back of your head, and this will sit right in the middle of your back. And then these bits go down past above your ears and down over your ears. And there we go. And there is your beanie. Great job, everyone. So proud of you. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Or don't forget to follow my Instagram on heyboo.com.au. Lovely. Great job. See you soon.